Does life have you down?
I'm on the edge.
Feeling like there's no hope?
I just don't understand how you can trust anyone.
Well, we've all been there. Welcome to Dawson McAllister.
Hey, welcome to the show. Rachel and I are so glad you are here.
Yes, we are. And we want to know what's weighing on your heart and mind. We want to talk about it tonight, and we want to get to the heart of the issues.
A lot going on in the world right now. Craziness, huh? This is a good time to talk about it. You're not alone. Let's talk about it.
I have a friend. She goes to a big party school, but she got into heroin while she was down there. And she came back to get better, at home, like to get away from that scenery and the drugs and stuff. And she's with this guy that got her in to heroin, and he is just bad news. Like, he's lied to her about drugs. He doesn't have a job, and she works all day and all night and pays for him. We tried to talk to her yesterday. She doesn't get help. Like, I'm scared that I'm going to lose my best friend.
We've got to burn the ships, cut the ties, send a flare into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye. Step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the heartache, yeah. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back.
She's got a double addiction to her heroin and to this guy who's feeding her habit. No addict ever gets help until that addict wants help. Usually that addict does not want help until that addict hits bottom. She has not yet hit bottom. You just think she's bottomed out. Until she's ready, nothing you can do. Now, when I say nothing, I have not mentioned prayer. You can tell her the truth, which you have done, and tell her that you love her, but you're not going to be used by her. And you can pray for her, and you can wait. I wish there was more we could do, Danielle. Glad she has a friend like you, but don't let her bring you down, Danielle.
Helping you find hope.
This is Dawson McAllister Live.
How are you tonight?
I just called to tell you that I really do appreciate everything you do on your show. Because, I called in before when I was 14, and just to thank you because I had a bad path going down through life, growing up and everything. I had a brother who drank and party and stuff like that, and it just kind of led me down the wrong path. But as I listened to your talk show, it just helped me out and let me know that there was people out there like me, and there was ways I found to stop everything that they're doing, And since I've been listening, I'm 17 now. I know that I'm going to college after I graduate. I'm going to college for music. I'm going to have to work there and to pay off my college and everything, but it's going to be hard, but I know that I can do it because I've started going to church and I started praying every night and I left, and ever since then I've stopped drinking, stopped partying. I still hang out with friends and stuff, but, I found out that you can have a good time without having to have alcohol or drugs or anything there at all. And I just wanted to call and thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Clint. You made my night.
Live. You're listening to Dawson
McAllister Live.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I am Dawson McAllister. You want to hear one of my favorite verses? You say, no, doesn't matter. It's coming anyway. Here it comes. One of my favorite verses, Hebrews 12:2. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. Now, this is the part I want to camp on. Who for the joy set before him. He saw something set before him. Who for the joy set before him? Who's that? That's you and me walking with him by faith. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. Well, now listen carefully. Yeah, he did endure the cross, scorning its shame. You know what that means? Jesus is on the cross. He's suffering horribly. But he sees us. He sees that we're going to be together forever with the Lord. And he has so much joy that he just, how can I put this reverently? He just scorns, the Bible says, its shame. He just spit on it. It's no big deal. In comparison,
I notice what I said there. It's a big deal. But in comparison, for Jesus to see us with him forever, no big deal. He scorned the shame because he loves us so much.
Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, and he scorned its shame. I believe that when Jesus hung on the cross, he looked out at standing on that nail, dying, saw you and me, and said, let's go. I'm going to die for you. I love you. That should get our attention. That doesn't move you. You're half dead. But I know it has. Boy, Jesus loves you and me. Don't ask me why. That's beyond me. But he does. And we'll take it.
Everyone needs a safe place to talk.
Well, you know, on this show, we talk a lot about how we can help you. And it's true. God's given Dawson a gift to get right to the heart of your issue and speak the truth in love. Dawson and I both rely heavily on God's word and his prompting from the Holy Spirit. We pray for you. We ask God to guide us to help you in the best way possible. And we want you to get through these challenges in your life and be an overcomer. Of course, learning in the process and becoming better for it. So let's get back to the phones. We'll see who's up next. And it's Melinda. So it says here, Melinda, your baby's dad shook your baby. Well, there's a name for that. Shaken baby syndrome can be very serious. So this is really tough, Melinda. Tell us what happened.
About 2 years ago, my son was diagnosed with shaken baby syndrome.
What is that?
He had a bleeding hematoma on the inside of his brain.
Is he permanently damaged?
No, he does take a lot of therapy, though. He has physical therapy and speech therapy.
How did this happen?
His father did it. Whenever I wasn't home one day, he was watching them. Detectives were on the case, and I didn't know about it until he was arrested.
How long did he get in jail?
He actually just got out. He only got 2 years.
What's the long-term effect of this?
They think that he's probably going to need to learn sign language because of his speech is really bad. He's not talking at all.
So what are your feelings towards I assume it was your boyfriend?
Anger.
I take it that the relationship is shot.
Yeah, it's definitely over.
And is he forbidden now from seeing the child?
Actually, no. He gets supervised visits.
Well, that'll be a forever reminder, won't it?
Yes, very.
So how are you coping with this?
I'm not doing too well, to be honest. I think about it night and day.
And now that he's out, do you have fear of him, or?
Yes.
Who have you talked to help you with your coping skills?
Really, nobody. Actually, you're the first person.
Nothing like putting it on me. Well, it's going to come down to the fact that you have to say, well, while this appeared to be a random act, this child is a special child that will receive special love from me.
Yeah.
To let it reshape my character and learn how to love and be patient beyond anything I could imagine. Secondly, it's going to be very hard for you to have the patience with the child and do all that you need to do for the child as far as super love, being bitter towards your ex-boyfriend.
Right.
So as shockingly and as amazing that it sounds and bothersome or, unbelievable is the word I'm looking for, you're going to have to forgive him.
Forgive, I don't know. I can try and forget, but...
There's no such thing as forgive and forget. You'll never forget this. That's where I would go, and I know you're saying I can't do it, won't do it. Where does it leave you? An angry, bitter woman trying to raise a special needs son. I still say they don't mix.
I
I think I'm doing the right thing.
They made the call that turned their life around.
I'm proud of you.
This is a Dawson McAllister 180.
I got out of work earlier, supposed to be home around 10, and I got off at 7. My fiance and I had our own place, and I pull into my driveway, and my best friend's truck's there, and I'm like, cool, you know, my buddy's there, and I walk in and go into my bedroom, and there they are, right in the act, and so I left. I'm at a Holiday Inn right now, and they're trying to call me out. I just don't know what to do. Should I kick her out? Should I try to work things through. We've been together for 2 years. I don't know. I'm confused.
Well, first of all, let's do this. Usually our first reaction is not a good one. Secondly, rule of thumb here, don't make heavy decisions in the middle of the night.
Right.
So here's what you do. You've got to separate the two here. All right, one's with your buddy, one's with your girlfriend, right?
Right.
In the end, though, you're going to have to forgive both of them.
Dawson McAllister 180.
What's going on?
Nothing. I talked to you probably a good month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm walking in on my fiance with my best friend, and you actually calmed me down a little bit. You helped me out there, and I just wanted to say thank you, man.
So did you break up with your girlfriend?
Well, yeah, she gave me the ring back. I don't talk to her anymore. I started back up in school again. I'm working. I have my own place now. My brother and I got a place, and it's just going really good.
You did the first wise thing, and that you decided to go to a motel.
Yeah.
And then you looked for advice.
Right.
You didn't just react. You did two smart things there back to back.
Right.
And look where you are now. You're happy, you're free, you've got a future. I'm glad to be part of your life.
One call, one life changed.
Dawson, I want to hear about this trip you and your friends in Fulton took to the mall to buy hats.
My son Fulton, who's in an accident nearly 10 years ago, and he can't walk, he can't talk, but boy, does he like to go to the mall, especially to buy hats, lids.
How many hats do you think Fulton has?
20, 25.
Okay. So not like, 100.
No, well, no, that's true. And they disappear, too, and I don't know how that works, but we're forever getting hats. So I took two of my friends with me, Joe, Kenny, good guys. There we were, wheeling him down the halls of the mall till we got the lids. And, I tried to help him. He did not want my help. So finally I thought to myself, he does not want your help. So I turned to my two buddies and I said, hey, Kenny, Joe, see if you can help him get these hats. Sure enough, I didn't have the touch.
You did not know what teams he wanted hats for. It's all about the teams, right?
Yeah. I tried. I thought I was too cool for Sunday school, but I wasn't. But anyway, Joe and Kenny find the hats for him. I'm glad he's glad. Because there's always more hats to be had at lids.
This isn't your typical radio show, but one that might change your life.
This show, DM Live, that you're listening to, it's also available on our website at dmlive.com. And it's on demand. You can listen to our Sunday night shows whenever you feel like it. So just visit dmlive.com, check out where it says past shows. Next up on the line is Nicole. The pull of addiction is so strong. And when you have an addiction, even when you want to say no, you can't sometimes. Nicole is in the addiction mess right now. She can't say no. How can we help you, Nicole?
I think I have a problem staying sober. I always seem to be on something.
Like?
Or if I'm not on it, I'm on it. Anything. Prescription pills, harder drugs.
Meth?
I have done meth, yeah.
What's your main drug of choice?
Smoking pot isn't every day, and a drug of choice would probably be acid.
So if you're not doing drugs, you're thinking about doing drugs, and your whole world revolves around it.
Yeah, but it's not like I have a steady job. I work 40 hours a week. I just bought a new vehicle. I have a great boyfriend. I don't know.
let's list what you got.
Okay.
You got a steady job. I'm writing these down. You got a steady job?
A steady job, a vehicle.
Okay, you got a car.
Family.
Mm-hmm.
Good family.
Good family.
Friends.
You got friends?
I have wonderful material things.
You got a boyfriend?
Yep.
Okay, can you think of anything else that's positive in your life that, means something to you?
Drugs, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if I like them. Like, I like them, but I just...
Yeah, you're to the place where you don't like them, but you take them anyway.
Yeah.
When that happens, you're much further goner than you think you are. So you lie to yourself, say, not that big of a deal. Okay, let's go through it. You know that steady job?
Yeah.
You're going to lose it. You know that car you have? You're going to lose that too. You know that good family you have? They may still be around, but your relationships will be very strained.
Yeah.
Your friends, you're going to lose them. And the chances of your boyfriend and you staying together are slim to none in a slim left town.
Yeah.
All the things that you hold near and dear to your heart, you're going to lose every last one of them. Think of that. So you need to go out and start having little, burials for them all. Say, steady job, I realize that you're dying, and so I'm having this funeral for you because once they find out what an addict you are, you're out the door. Mm-hmm. Too many people looking for your job to keep an addict.
Yeah.
Did I get your attention?
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm serious. As a heart attack. What I'm going to do right now is send you to the Hope Line where they can talk with you further about how you're going to get off of this habit and become sober. Because sooner or later, you will get tired of the high price of low living. Mm-hmm. And your addiction will not go away on its own.
Be our friend and interact with us and your peers all week long. Click the Facebook icon to join us at dmlive.com.
Well, you guys know Dawson and I pray for you often. And something just bit on my heart I wanted to share. Sometimes we think of God as looking down on us and kind of saying something like, "Oh, you stupid girl, Rachel, you messed up again. When will you get it right? I am not going to help you until you figure things out." But that's not really the way God works. The truth is, God looks at us with love, and he has abounding grace for us, no matter how many times we've messed up. God is a God of love. He is love, and he loves you deeply, and he cares for you. And I'm praying that you'll come to understand the depths of God's love for you. And as Paul prayed for the Ephesians, and this is in Ephesians 3:17 through 19, I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp, here's the important part, how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Now, not that we quite comprehend what that whole scripture was about, but did you catch that part about how wide and long and high and deep the love of Christ is? And that's his love for you. God doesn't smack us upside the head when we need it. Instead, he works within us with gentle nudges and prompting. But you have to create room inside your life for God to work. How can you create room inside your life today for God to work? How can you? Can you etch out some time with him each day to pray and listen? I know you can, and if you do, you will start to reap the benefits of having a closer relationship with God. Be encouraged tonight. Make some room in your life for God.
This is Dawson McAllister.
We just started a new semester, and these are my harder classes. And then, my sister, she's bipolar, and she was diagnosed when I was in 5th grade.
Have you ever had one of those days when nothing really goes your way?
And that's just when everything just started to fall apart. I didn't know what to do with myself. My parents weren't there. I don't go to my parents for homework help, or, they don't really drive me anywhere because, they're constantly working. There's just so much to do.
Do you work?
Yeah.
You have time for your friends?
Sometimes, last semester, I never really had homework because it was my easier classes. So I would just go to their house after school. But now it's just so much harder.
Something's got to give.
I don't know the way, but you got this. Give me the faith that you got this. Even today, you got this. I know that you got this.
The simple thing to do is to, make a list of all the things you're doing and then prioritize them. Which one's most important? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Then, under the theory something's got to give, we take the least important off the board. Then the next least important off the board. Until you finally get down to you're only doing what's manageable. Your deeper problem is the neglect from your parents. And the fact that you're thrown into a situation where you're trying to manage your sister who has emotional issues, which is totally unacceptable. And that's why you need to go to school counselor, a minister, somebody. You're carrying all this inside of you, like this big old heavy weight on your shoulders. It's killing you. So you have all this stuff stored up inside of you, and it just turns into stress. And that's why it's got to be dealt with, brought out in the open, or it'll just fester and keep on poisoning you.
Dawson McAllister Live. Dawson McAllister Live.
Helping you find hope.
I'm so glad you called me. What's going on?
I just need some help. I've been addicted to painkillers for about 2 years now, and it's caused a lot of problems with my family and my girlfriend, and I just need some advice.
How desperate are you, Charlie?
Very desperate.
What are you going to do about it?
I've been to rehab twice, and it didn't seem to help because I used all through rehab.
Did you confess that to anybody?
Yeah, I did.
Did you go to the staff and say, hey, I'm using even as I'm in rehab?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
They kicked me out of rehab, actually. But I was going to get put on Suboxone. Do you think that's a bad idea?
Medication that will help you get off?
Yeah, but my parents think it's a bad idea because they think it's just another drug, and I just want to get high again. But it helps.
Well, you go see the doctor that will prescribe this and have your parents meet with that doctor and you to talk it through.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever works and is legal.
Yeah.
Go for it. But you're going to have to be a whole lot more open than you were the last couple of times in rehab.
Yeah, and my parents don't trust me at all. Like, it's caused so many problems between me and them. And
I can only imagine the pain. Not to shame you, but I know it's real.
Yeah.
Have you sought forgiveness from them?
Yeah.
Any way you can get back into rehab again?
It's kind of hard because it was a one-time thing with my mom's insurance, and her insurance won't cover it. So.
Well, you better get in Narcotics Anonymous then right away.
Yeah.
And say to yourself, if I have to go every night of the week, I will.
Mm-hmm.
And tell your parents that you've made that commitment. Mm-hmm. And try this medicine out because you got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Dawson McAllister.
Thank you. You made my night.
Oh, well, thank you. You've made my life.
This is Dawson McAllister.
So, Dawson, for some reason tonight, those words, deep waters, it just keep going through my head. You know, when you feel like you're drowning, you're fighting the water and the waves, you don't know if you're going to be rescued or if you'll end up getting tired and not be able to keep going. Well, if you're in that place, the Lord has something to say about deep waters. In Isaiah, he says, when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. So thank you, Lord, for being here to save us when we feel like we're drowning. Thank you for being with us everywhere and in everything. Thank you for rescuing us from deep waters. I wonder if Josh feels like he's in deep waters. He's on the line up next. He can't seem to get over his ex. Hey, Josh, what's on your mind?
Having some issues with my girlfriend. We've been together for about 2 years, and she lives about an hour and a half away from me. And I kind of probably about 8 or 9 months ago moved down that way on a little rental house her parents had on her land. And in the past 8 months, her dad's passed away. And I won't say ever since then it's been kind of going downhill, but probably for the past 3 months it's been pretty bad, and it seems like for no reason really. I was there, we saw each other all the time. I worked. She comes from a lot of money. She really doesn't have to work, which I think she should, but we just have issues because she doesn't understand the fact that I have to work to make a living. And we had recently split up probably about 3 weeks ago, and I came and moved back home to my brother's. And I thought it was the right thing to do, but I can't get it out of my head that I was in the wrong, that it was my fault. And it's just driving me insane, and I really have no idea what to do, how to get it out of my head.
How long's it been?
About 3.5 weeks, actually.
She tried to contact you?
Yeah, she's contacted me a little bit here and there, but it's mainly just stuff to, try and start an argument or something like that. It seems like, and I just kind of get to the point where I blow it off and ignore it. But as far as having a decent conversation since then, I think we might have had one for about 10 minutes.
A couple things strike me. Number one, doesn't sound like you have a healthy relationship going. Secondly, you've only been away from her for 3 weeks. It can take up to a year and longer sometimes to heal from a relationship like this. To go back to her would be just to go back into more fights, more hurt. You need to give her all the space in the world. Maybe she'll decide to come back to you. Maybe you'll want her to. Maybe you won't. But 3 weeks is like 3 minutes. And so as painful as it is, think of as many diversions you can that are healthy. If you want to date around a little bit, that'd be cool. If you want to get involved somehow in helping other people, just stay off the false feel-goods and, bar hopping and all that. And give it time. The longer you are away from her, the more perspective you will have. Right now, you just can't see clearly.
Now, here's another direct message from Dawson.
Been a lot of political talk lately, and all the shout shows and all the talk radio, etc. You'll hear politicians say this, we got to get the country moving again. You ever heard that? Get the country moving again. Well, that's a noble cause. I'll give you another one. Getting you and me moving again. And you may feel that you're stuck, or maybe you're at a job that you hate. And once you find out that you are in this situation, the next step is to come up with a meaningful plan to get you moving again. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to stay where you are. It takes work, takes guts, takes courage, takes a lot of things to get moving again. But it's well worth it all. I'm glad you've come here.
Real teens and young adults speaking about real things in their lives. We cut through the nonsense. Let it out. Be real. Get real hope. This is Dawson McAllister.
Well, the next caller on the line wants to talk about the big C word, cancer. Doesn't just hearing that word bring up so many emotions and feelings when you hear it? It's like a wave of memories of everyone you've known with cancer and what they've been through just go through your head. Well, Paul's girlfriend's father has cancer. How is your girlfriend doing through all of this, Paul? Will you tell us all about it?
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say I've been listening to your show for probably 5 years now, and I appreciate what you do for kids. It's the most awesome thing I've ever heard of. Take your time and do that for kids. But my problem is my girlfriend's dad is dying of lung cancer, and sometimes it seems like she doesn't know that I'm there for her, and I want to know how to let her know that I'm there for her no matter what happens. I've known her for 3 years. We've been best friends. But now this with her dad, it's been going on pretty much as long as I've known her, but it's getting really bad lately. I went to visit him at the hospital, and I just walked into the room and heard the doctor tell him he's not going to get any better than he is now.
Wow. It's one thing to say I know somebody and I'm close to somebody and we've been friends. But when something very, very personal happens, very sobering, very emotional, it takes people to another level. And some people cry out for help and want somebody there all the time and want other people isolate and want some space. So Paul, what you say to your girlfriend is this: look, I can be whatever you want me to be. I am here for you. I am praying for you. I'm committed to you, but I'm not going to crowd you. When you need me, call me. I'm here. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to sit here and tell you anything. You don't have to give her any deep, wise counsel. You don't have to, do anything but be there when she wants you there.
That's what she told me. She's like, because I told her, I'm like, Luna, baby, I will be here for you if you ever need to talk to me and stuff. And she's like, that means so much to me.
All right, you want to be very sensitive to her. You want to, of course, be praying for her. You want to watch her moods so that you don't make them worse. You go with her moods. When she cries, you cry, so to speak. When she laughs, you laugh, so to speak.
Right.
And give her space. She needs her space. But she also needs you. She's never been through this before.
Right.
So she's as confused as you are. Paul, I just want to tell you, you're a great guy. All the girls listening tonight wish they had a guy like you. And you're going to be fine. And tell her, listen, if I get too pushy or I'm insensitive, or just say to her, tell me, you won't hurt my feelings. I just want to be able to serve you in any way I can. Use that word serve a lot. I want to be there for you a lot. Being there for you. That word's a powerful, powerful phrase. But then you got to back it up, So
Right.
Good talking to you, Paul.
Thanks, Dawson.
This is Dawson McAllister.
Hi, Dawson. I just turned 21 in March, and I've been listening to the show for a long time now. It helps to listen to the show because there's a lot of people who are going through issues that I have gone through in my life and had a lot of things that are going on with them that are going on with me at this moment. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything that you say and do for these people, and just keep up the good work.
More of your calls
Play next
on Dawson McAllister.
Do you ever find that making friends is hard? Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's just hard to find the right people to be friends with. But it's incredibly valuable to your life to have good friends, and it's worth the effort. Friends make your life better, and they're the anchors that keep you grounded when everything else is out of control. So, if you have trouble making friends, how can you make better friends? Well, you definitely can't make friends sitting at home binging on shows. Sooner or later, you're going to have to move out into uncharted waters, where things can be unpredictable and uncomfortable. But the best way to do this is stare down your fears, take the plunge. It may not be the greatest experience the first time, but keep at it. You'll end up finding people that you want to be friends with. So there are 4 steps I want to share with you that can help you make friends. 1, spend more time with people with shared interests. Volunteer somewhere, join a club, a sports team, join a church or a youth group, and become part of that group there. You want to get involved in activities where you're sharing the same things. You have similar interests. And that way you can begin to see, who are these people and what do they like? And, is this someone that I could be friends with? Number 2, reach out. I know this is hard to do. Sometimes, you want them to reach out to you, but you have to be the person to reach out. Everybody needs encouragement, attention, and even small words of kindness can make a difference. So try talking to people, just saying hi, maybe asking them a question. What's going on in your life? How are you? What do you like to do? Anything like that. People like to talk about themselves and what's going on. So try that out. And number 3, make an effort to get together. Sometimes it can be really easy to just stay at home or stay in your comfort place where you're always doing the same things. Try and make an effort to get together. When you meet someone you find interesting, have courage. Say, hey, when can we get together for coffee? When do you want to go to a movie? Let's make a plan. And number 4, the most important of all, is to be a good friend. A lot of people have a lot of acquaintances, but very few friends. You got to deepen that friendship. You got to not just be friends with someone on social media, but you got to talk to them, text with them, meet face to face, find out, what they're going through, what their fears are, what their hopes and dreams are. If you want a good friend, be a good friend to someone else. And, this takes a little bit of work, but it is so well worth it. To get this information and learn more about making new friends, check out our website. It's thehopeline.com. And we have new blogs, podcasts, ebooks, resources. We have those being released all the time. It's an incredible place to get help. Thehopeline.com.
Dawson McAllister.
Basically lied to you.
Right.
And you're going to build your life around this guy, huh?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You don't have to be Einstein to figure out the math on that.
This is Dawson McAllister.
How are things with your mom?
I have a very bad feeling that my mom is having an emotional affair with somebody else. For a long time, she didn't like Facebook. She thought it was really pathetic for mid-30s, early 40 girls or women to be on Facebook with crazy pictures posing, and she eventually got one. Her cell phone was always out in the open. She didn't care if anybody looked at it. My little brother was always allowed to play on it, and she got more and more protective over it. And now it's like you can't catch her without it. She'll stay in a room for 30 minutes at a time. We ask her who she's texting. She'll say it's one of our siblings. We'll ask them, and they say no, they haven't been talking to her. She's on Facebook all the time, and I think she has found some of her old flames, I guess. And my dad has no idea about it because he works a lot. And
so she's lying every which way.
I pretty much know she is, and I don't know if I should confront her. I have little brothers and sisters, and I'm old enough to know that this is not how you act, but they don't know. They don't know
how to justify that or if it's good or bad at their age.
Well, emotional affairs can be even more powerful than physical affairs.
Yeah.
Sure, she's obviously into some kind of fantasy world, isn't she?
Yeah. And
her needs are not being met by your father, and so she's taking them someplace else.
I just don't know how, like, if I should confront her about it or how would be a way to confront her without feeling like I'm being judgmental for her mother.
Well, I would tell her how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And say, the reason I'm talking to you is not only for me, I'll be leaving soon, but my brothers and sisters. They're going to be victims of this.
Yeah.
I don't expect her to listen to you right now. I think she's in la-la land.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's felt this amazing about men in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like she's on drugs or something. I would hope that she would listen and stop it all.
Yeah.
But
I just don't want her to look back and say, this took a big effect on my kids because of me.
you need to clear your conscience by telling her.
Yeah.
All right? And tell her not only for you, how it makes you feel insecure, but also for your brothers and sisters. You're not telling her for her. You're telling her for you first.
This is Dawson McAllister.
Hi, Dawson. I've been listening to your show for a while. I've had problems in the past with depression. I've been on antidepressants, like cutting myself and just suicidal thoughts, and I wasn't doing well. And listening to your show and some of your comments that you have made, some of the people that have called up really made me think about my life, and it's really changed me. Like, right now I'm seeing a counselor and a doctor, and they've been helping me too, and my family's been there, and it's been really supportive. But your show has really helped me too, and I just want to thank you for all that you've done, and for all the good things that you do to help other people too. Keep doing great, and thank you so much.
More of your calls
play next
on Dawson McAllister.
This is Dawson McAllister Live, and we are coming to you from our studio in Tennessee, and we are so glad you are listening to the show. If you've got issues, we've got help. Dawson and I are here for you. And as you listen to the show and you hear what's going on in other people's lives, you can get a different perspective for your own life. You know, it helps to know what others are going through and their struggles. And if they're going through something similar to you, then you might just be helped yourself. We've had so many people contact us and they say, I never even spoke with you, but you helped me because I heard myself in one of the callers and I listened to the advice that you gave them. So if that's you tonight, stay tuned. You're probably going to hear yourself in one of these calls. Our next caller, John, he's blind. He says his teacher won't help him. I wonder what that's all about. John, what's happening with you?
At this one independent living school I'm going to.
What does that mean?
Well, basically, it's a training program for people with disabilities to be independent. In other words, living on their own.
What's your challenge?
Visual impairment.
So you're blind.
Yep. And basically, I don't stay there. I just go for the day, then I come back home. But whenever I am, given something that's on regular paper, I ask for it to be brailled, and the teacher says we can't do that. We don't have the resources or whatever. And I'm kind of getting the feeling that she's just making excuses and not providing me with real materials.
Who can you talk to about this?
Well, I talked to my teacher about it, and she just said the same thing. And I talked to one of the other support people, and I said, well, I can't help you. The teacher's going to have to do that.
Can you go to another school?
Well, I live in Eaton County, and Eaton County is the only. We need a Braille printer, but the problem is that we don't. I guess they don't have the money to afford it, or they just plain don't want to get it.
How expensive is it?
Probably be around. I don't know how much those things run around. Like maybe $800 to $900, that area.
Seems to me that you could get a couple other kids in the school to ask them for a list of donors and make some phone calls and raise the money.
Well, they don't have time to do that. The other kids have disabilities too. They're trying to teach us what we need to know. And the kids are learning from that. And actually, I'm the only blind person in the school. The rest of the kids are sighted, but they also have a disability as well.
You got a couple of choices.
You can leave and go to some other place.
Okay.
You can go to the very top, whoever that is, the dean, the president. Tell him of your situation and ask if he would be willing to work side by side with you to raise the $800 for the Braille machine.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can accept things just the way they are, even though it's a handicap for you, and go on.
Okay.
Problem is that you're so upset about this and so stirred up with this that you're not growing now. You're just mad.
Yeah.
But it's actually blocking you from becoming more independent because you're stuck.
Yeah.
Ask the dean of the school what he would do if he were you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get an unsatisfactory answer, go to another school. Meanwhile, to be a winner, you got to be a leader and cause change.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
This will be a good experience for you. Thanks, John.
Dawson McAllister.
Thank you. You made my night.
Oh, well, thank you. You've made my life.
This is Dawson McAllister.
There's probably not a show that goes by where we don't talk about a broken heart. So many people dealing with broken hearts over relationships, over family issues, all kinds of reasons you could have a broken heart. And I know it's so hard. If that's you, you might feel like you'll never fully recover. But the truth is you can heal from a broken heart. And if you want to know some ways to start healing your broken heart, stay tuned because I want to share them with you. Number one, I love lists here. Number one is to start by letting go of mementos. Now, this might seem simple. Okay, so a few mementos. But if you've been dating someone a while, you've probably collected things that remind you of them. And if you guys are broken up now and you're left behind with a broken heart, these mementos bring that person to mind. Pictures, rings, pillows, music, clothes, anything that you're hanging on to can be a reminder of that person. So it's time to get rid of them. This is a really good step in saying, okay, this is over. It's truly over. This is a very important step to take, even though it might seem really simple to you right now. Number two, you want to keep yourself busy by giving to others. And this isn't just about keeping yourself busy, but, by giving to others, you're going to build your own self-worth. You're going to realize that you have something to offer, that you don't necessarily need this other person in your life. When you were dating, y'all spent lots of time together, and now you have this extra time open, and you need to fill that time with something positive. One thing, too, to also do is, get to know your friends again. Maybe you spent all your time with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you've neglected your friends, or, they've been doing their own thing. Get together again with them, spend time with them, develop those friendships. Number three, another way to help with a broken heart, help yourself heal, take care of yourself physically. It's really hard to overcome a broken heart when you don't feel good physically as well. So make sure you take care of yourself, you eat right, you exercise, get some sleep. Spend some time in the Word, praying, asking God to help you. Number four, realize it's mostly about you, not your ex, how you're feeling. It comes down to whether you're going to allow this breakup to make you stronger or stay a victim. So this is no longer about your ex and how horrible they were or what they did, but it's about you and how you are going to deal with it and react. And number five, most important of all, cast your cares on God, for He cares for you. And He says in Psalms 34:18, He's close to the brokenhearted. So if you have a broken heart, that's you. And if that's you, then He's close to you. He's waiting for you to reach out and call on Him and ask for His help. So if you found these steps to getting over a broken heart helpful, you can check out this information and more on our website, thehopeline.com. We also have hope coaches, aka amazing people who have a passion for helping others, and they're there to chat with you every night of the week. Sometimes, it just helps to have an outside perspective from someone who's not emotionally involved in your life. It's all there at thehopeline.com.
Live. You're listening to Dawson
McAllister Live.
What's up with your girlfriend?
We've been best friends for a really long time, like 6 or 7 years, and I've always dealt with jealousy issues of her, but lately it seems like she's blossomed into this beautiful butterfly or whatever, and I've been left in the dust. And it's honestly, the jealousy from me of her is ruining my life.
Wow. It's not her fault.
I know, but when we're hanging out with all of her friends, it's always her friends because they all give her the attention. I'm just sitting in the background, and she really does nothing to, like, bring me up or anything.
Have you talked to her about it?
I have. She'll say she's sorry, we get over it, and then it just keeps happening. And I know it's me. I know it's my fault that I'm so jealous, but I don't know what to do about it.
Have you told her that you're jealous?
I have. We've discussed this many times. It's actually, I'm sitting in my car right now because she's inside with a guy friend, and I just couldn't deal with it.
Have you asked her to forgive you for your jealousy issues?
Whenever we talk about it, before she says sorry, she says that I'm stupid for being jealous.
Yeah, well, walk a mile in your shoes.
Exactly. I just don't know. It's like there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not upset or angry because she gets everything.
Well, she's not treating you right. Right?
I actually have had my family and other friends tell me that.
She's basking in her I'm so coolness and your notness that's really tearing you down.
It honestly is.
It is. And not only that, jealousy is just toxic, terrible.
This is Dawson McAllister.
I left my home state on Friday. I decided that I don't think that the trouble of life is worth going through anymore.
There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless.
I just don't think that it's worth it.
You have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath.
I decided I was going to go cross country and then kill myself.
I hear your SOS.
I feel like this is the way it's supposed to be.
What is it in your life that would be so horrible that would make death more acceptable to you than life?
I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you.
I know you've been hurt and I know you're depressed, but surely you're not so hurt and so depressed that you're going to do that to your parents. Now, you called me for a reason. You didn't just call me to brag about the fact that you're going to kill yourself.
No.
Nearly 800,000 people die due to suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds. If you are suicidal or know someone who is, contact the Hope Line at thehopeline.com.
Your life
I want to get help, but
happens here.
I don't know who to talk to, what to do.
I'm here to listen.
Talk it out. Reach a better place.
Thank you, Dawson.
More now.
All right, so on the prayer show the other day, Dawson, we were talking about right crowd, wrong crowd, and you wanted to talk a little bit more about that.
I did I?
Yeah, right crowd, wrong crowd.
That was then, this is now.
Does that strike a bell with you? I think you were talking about how important the right crowd is.
Yeah.
And how detrimental the wrong crowd can be. And, I mean, by a crowd, it could even just be one or two people. It doesn't have to be a lot to totally pull you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, who is it? Is it one of the self-help groups have a saying that says, stick in the middle of the herd? You ever heard that?
I've heard you say it.
Yeah. I wished I could take credit for it, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Stay in the middle of the herd. Well, when an animal tries to attack another animal, like a tiger or lion, whatever, they go for the sick ones, the small ones, and the ones that aren't in the middle of the herd. Because they try to run into the middle of the herd, they'll get stomped. So we say to anybody with drugs issues or crowds affect, their friends affect them, make sure you stay in the middle of the herd.
Mm.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's very cool.
Think about that. It's true, too.
It is true. Well, there you go. You know, in a situation right now, feeling like you might get attacked or just having some struggles, get in the middle of the herd.
Protection in the middle of the herd. Have we said middle of the herd enough here?
Herd,
middle of the herd. Middle of the herd. It's all true. You heard it here first.
Thanks for checking out Dawson McAllister Live. Any advice or wisdom given is with the understanding that the host is not a licensed counselor or engaged in rendering professional legal advice. Since the circumstances in your situation are fact-dependent, you should additionally seek the advice of a licensed professional. Some calls may be recorded for future broadcast. Thanks for being a part of tonight's Dawson McAllister.